Good evening and good night to the Ottawa Senators. Is this offensive? I don't know. Honestly, I feel like a lot of Canadiens fans may be feeling this way right now, so we'll let it slide. But today, the Montreal Canadiens have just defeated the Ottawa Senators 3-2. In regulation, oh my goodness! And even though you can say a 3-2 hockey game is a pretty standard hockey game score, oh boy, this game was absolutely not normal. Because not only did you have yourselves multi-point games out of Ivan Demidov, but you had a performance of the night from one Jacob Fowler, who stood on his head in the final minute 30 of regulation with the other goalie pulled, making saves, keeping the Canadiens in it, and keeping the Senators at bay. This was an amazing showcase, and we're going to have to talk about it here. But before we dive into that, let's get into the standings, because this is probably the second most important result out of tonight's game. 3-2, Montreal beats Ottawa in regulation. What does that mean for the wild card? Well, Montreal maintains their third overall spot here in the Atlantic Division. Wildcard goes as follows. You have Detroit at 79 points, Boston at 78 points, and then Columbus at 76 points. The Ottawa Senators have 73. They needed today's 2 points. The Flyers just defeated the Washington Capitals, so they are now tied 71 points apop. But Ottawa, they needed these 2 points to stay one behind Columbus, and now they're 3 behind CBJ. It was already looking pretty dim for the Ottawa Senators in their playoff run this season, but they needed these 2 points against a Montreal Canadiens team that's been trying to stay relevant in the Atlantic Division too. Take a look at the money puck and the charts over here. They had the game preview posted up earlier on their website before the game went down. So there you go, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sens had a 65.5% chance of winning. But this was a really big game for the Montreal Canadiens. They had an 86% chance of making the playoffs before the game began. If they won in regulation, which they did, those playoff odds go up to 92%. Meanwhile, for the Ottawa Senators, if they lose to Montreal in regulation, their playoff odds go from 56% to 44%. A 12.6% drop if they lose to the Habs in regulation. This is what we're talking about, man. Meaningful games in March, where the going gets tough. This is where the games mean the most. It's after the trade deadline, and you need guys to go out there and score, win, and be able to get yourself some points. Now, the Canadiens, they did that. Starting things off, it's Juraj Slafkovsky, making it 1-0 Montreal, assisted by Demidov and Suzuki. Look at Suzuki, dashing into the zone, over to Doc, out in front, Demidov, and a cross crease for Slav. Oh my goodness, the poise, the patience, the absolute foundry of talent that is Ivan Demidov, to be able to just hold on to the puck there in front of the goalie and not make a shot go through. 1-0 off of a beautiful goal. I've got both Slaf and Demidov in my fantasy team, so I'm okay with this. Give me a power play goal assisted by the other on a power play assist. Making it 1-1 is Drake Batherson, who is able to get the deflection by Jacob Fowler just a few minutes later. It's Timmy Stu on the right side. He goes over to Tkachuk, and then it's tossed out in front for Drake Batherson on the back door. Puck goes right through. There's a little bit of a scrum there. And then making it 2-1 is that same Drake Batherson, who ends up tipping in a shot again, this time from Timmy Stu and Claude Giroux. Sens do a good job of keeping the puck in. Batherson out in front. He's able to swing in and fire it. 2-1 Ottawa lead after the first period. Second period comes, and guess who it is? It's Alexandre Texier in for the ill Cole Caulfield. Texier scores his 8th goal of the season on a wraparound, assisted by Jake Evans and Lane Hutson. Hell yeah, look at that play. Evans goes back over to Hutson. He then finds Texier at the side of the net, who swings around to the opposing side and gets the tying goal. Then in the third period, you had yourselves Ivan Demidov scoring his 14th on the year, assisted by Alex Newhook, shot and a rebound. That's how it goes. And Demidov finishes off the game with 2 points on the night. Juraj Slafkovsky had a goal on the power play, so obviously that's great. Demidov is now up to, if you look at the math over here, 37 goals, 14 assists. Those were his 50th and 51st points of the season. So Ivan Demidov is now a 50-point scorer in the National Hockey League. But of course, the reason this game stands out and the reason everybody's talking about it is not because of the goals and Demidov's 2 points. Oh no. It's because of Jacob Fowler, who in the last minute and a half of regulation really proved that he is the successor to Carey Jesus Price, or whatever it is that you want to call him. They were posting the entire segment on social media over here. I mean, we can't go out there and just play it, but ultimately I do want to skim through the stint here. Here it is, full empty net sequence. Ottawa pours on the offense and Fowler holds down the fort to seal the win for the Canadiens. Take a look at this. It's 2 minutes to go. 1:30 now, as the Ottawa Senators bring it into the offensive zone. I don't think I have the ability to skim through as much as I could to get every single chance, but the big ones, you had Claude Giroux getting denied on the right side of the net by Jacob Fowler and his patented glove. You have centering feeds over to Dylan Cousins that get stopped up. You had Thomas Chabot trying to find lanes as well. This play right here on Claude Giroux, absolute wizardry. How does Jacob Fowler keep that out? This guy's got ice in his veins, and he is just able to hold the fort down. No matter the pressure, no matter the shot, no matter what, and he's able to keep things going for the Montreal Canadiens, sealing out the Ottawa Senators in the last few minutes of the game. This is what Martin St. Louis talked about. Jacob Fowler is the guy that gives Montreal the biggest chance to win on a back-to-back. Plain and simple. No more questions about Monty. Let's just focus on the guy that's already there. Unfortunately, this game may have just dug Samuel Montembeault's grave in Montreal. And that sucks, because we all understand the story of Monty. It was a waiver pickup and everything. The fact that he became a starter and he worked his way up to get there. He was in the team candidate conversation for a bit, but then he totally fell off. And Jakub Dobeš is a more than fine guy to have as your 1B. But Jacob Fowler, oh boy, this is the real deal right here. This is literally that Toy Story meme. I'm dropping Jesse down and I want to play with my new toy. Or iPad, or whatever you want to say it's going to be in the next movie. Shout out to Greta Lee. I love past lives. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens defeating the Ottawa Senators 3-2 in regulation. The Sens take a dagger to the heart at the hands of one Jacob Fowler, who's going out there and really making things difficult for the rest of the NHL. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.